I'm Faye Chappell, and you've landed on Sunday Spark, proudly brought to you by City Media Group. And each week here, we explore the hidden mindset habits, strategies, anything that can catapult us to success or keep us stuck where we are. Today's focus is on fear, not the thrilling kind you seek out during a horror movie marathon, but the slow, persuasive type that whispers, "What if you fail? What if people judge you? What if you're not good enough?" Left unchecked, that fear holds more entrepreneurs back than any competitor ever could. But once we call it by name and we see it for what it is, we can pivot from paralysis to power. So settle in, because we're going to break down that fear from three different angles: entrepreneurial, corporate, and personal. And by the end of this episode, you're going to have a clear understanding of how fear operates and a toolkit to stop it in its tracks. So let's spark some courage. Hey there, welcome to the Sunday Spark, where we ditch those Sunday scaries and ignite some serious inspiration before the work week. I'm Faye Chappell, your semi-sassy guide and the founder of the Regeneration Company, and I'm here to help you crush burnout, brainstorm big ideas, and remember that success should actually feel good. So grab your coffee, strap in, and let's spark some insight. So if you're building your own venture or dreaming about launching one, fear can feel like a constant sidekick, right? You might call it imposter syndrome or buried under endless tasks, but the root is often fear. So let's really examine how it creeps in. Number one is fear of failure. You've poured your life savings and your soul into a product or a service, and one misstep could cost you big, and that terror can freeze you from the start. So let's do a little reality check here. Setbacks are part of the journey, and many successful entrepreneurs faced multiple failures before they hit their stride. Failure often serves as a masterclass in resilience and refinement. Number two is we think about fear of success, right? It sounds counterintuitive, but some of us dread the responsibility and the visibility that come with growth. What if I scale and I can't handle it? Well, here's your reality check. Success does not have to be chaotic. With the right systems, the mentors, and a supportive network, you can expand at a sustainable pace. And number three, analysis paralysis. We all get that. We fear, the fear that can mask itself as research, right? You read every blog, you watch every tutorial, and you never take action. And what do we always talk about? Action changes things. ACT. Put that up on your board in front of you, wherever you can see it. Action changes things. There is a difference between being informed and being immobilized. So imperfect action often trumps no action at all. So what kind of steps can we take as entrepreneurs? Well, first of all, we can name it. We can write down exactly what you're afraid of. Is it financial ruin? Is it public embarrassment? Or is it a lack of skill? And then we want to create what I like to call a fear ladder. So we want to break it down into your scariest goal. You get your scariest goal and you break it down into tiny little steps, right? Rungs. Conquer step one, conquer step two, and then it becomes less intimidating to get to your goal. And then leverage community. Check in with peers or mentors, right? You can join us at Mastermind City. A fresh perspective can dispel inflated fears. I once delayed launching my online course for literally almost a year because it just wasn't ready. Which was, translation, really I can say it was, I was terrified. So when I finally took the plunge, I realized the fear was bigger in my head than in reality. And that's often the case. How many times have you just done something really quickly and it ends up being the most success? Because you didn't spend any time worrying about it. You just took action. So let's look at the corporate side, because for those navigating the corporate world, fear can seep into team dynamics, leadership styles just as easily. And it can hide. It can hide behind tight smiles in meeting rooms and after hours Slack messages, but let's uncover that fear that might be guiding your office life. So, number one is you might have a fear of speaking up, right? Junior employees might hesitate to suggest innovative ideas, voice concerns, because they worry about backlash. They worry about looking foolish. And the impact of that is potentially game changing suggestions remain buried because people want to play it safe. I know I was guilty of that. I always had so many ideas, but I was afraid to say them out loud. And then there's the fear of accountability, right? A high stakes project can paralyze decision making. So if everyone's afraid of being blamed for failure, then no one takes it, right? No one tries to go ahead and move forward. So progress slows to a crawl as team members really dodge that responsibility rather than take ownership, right? And then there's the fear of disrupting what works, right? If you isn't broke, don't fix it. We've all heard of that before. But some corporations cling to those outdated processes, right? They're fearful of making mistakes if they actually innovate. And company growth stagnates and agile competitors swoop in, right? This works in corporate and as entrepreneurs. So overcoming fear in organizations is a bit of a challenge, but we have some steps that you can follow. Number one is create a fail forward culture, right? So acknowledge that missteps are part of learning. You can host post project retrospectives, right, to digest what went right and what went wrong without scapegoating. Psychological safety, you can encourage employees to question the status quo, right? Brainstorm solutions without the fear of harsh judgments. Just because somebody implemented something 20 years ago, it doesn't mean that it's still working. And then pair newer employees with seasoned mentors who can share stories of their own corporate missteps, right? And how they bounced back. Let's face it, we all have had them. If fear is turning your corporate environment into a risk adverse zone, that remember you need help and you need to learn practical strategies to foster innovation. So sometimes hearing other people's experiences can really change the mindset of an organization. So think about it. If there are groups, organizations, or masterminds, something you can join to make sure that you can bounce ideas of other people, that will help to eliminate that fear. And fear is really a personal obstacle as well, as most of you know. Outside the realms of business, fear can sabotage personal growth, relationships, and overall well-being. That's the one that really bothers me. And it shows up in real subtle ways, right? How many of you have experienced self-sabotage? That workout routine that you never start, the novel you never write, the reunion you avoid because you fear that something might happen, right? So fear can manifest really as an endless excuse to not doing things. So it can emerge from self-doubt, or it can also emerge from perfectionism. But a small, consistent effort can break fear's grips and build confidence. So remember, action changes things. Worrying about the future can also lead to constant fight or flight state, right? And that really undermines your mental and physical health, and it creates chronic stress and chronic anxiety. So that's when we really want to look at mindfulness techniques like meditation and journaling and breath work that can interrupt those fear spirals that ground you in the present. And we've all heard of negative self-talk, phrases like, I'm not worth it, I never do anything right. It might feel permanent, but they're really fear-based illusions. So you can challenge these thought patterns. Seek out a counselor or a mentor or a friend or a group of peers who can remind you of your strengths and how good you are. So the best hacks that I can let you know that I use all the time is a daily affirmation. So you start the day by stating 3 things that you're capable of achieving, even if it scares you, right? If it's a personal health thing, you might say, this morning I'm going to get up and take a 20-minute walk. Or you might get up and say, I'm going to make that phone call to that customer that I'm trying to land. You need to start with capable pieces that you can achieve. And it's not I might do it, I'm going to, and it will be successful. I know I can do it. Take mindful mini breaks. I love teaching this because if you set an alarm twice a day, just twice a day, to start to pause, to breathe, and scan your body for any sense of tension, then you can release that fear-based stress before it snowballs. And when I mean take a break, it can be a 5-minute break. Just sit quietly and breathe and relax your body, and you'll start to feel better. So number 3, a really good one, is to partner with a friend, whether it's virtual or local, anyone who has a similar goal, and celebrate progress and gently call out those fear-based hesitations. So if you really want to start an exercise program and you want to go to the gym, go with a friend or a partner so that you can hold yourselves accountable and you won't be afraid to go, because you always have someone there with you. You know, I used to procrastinate personal hobbies, right? Anything that I loved to do, I didn't do, or I thought I wanted to do, I didn't do because of that fear that I wouldn't be good enough, right? So I'll give you an example. 2 years ago, my naturopath told me that I needed to start using light weights, resistance training, and I was really honestly scared of it because I wasn't sure if I could do it, right? But now I do it because it's freeing to do something, even if it's imperfect. I might not be the best person in class, I might not lift the biggest weights, but I'm comfortable because I've let go of that fear. Fear no longer dictates what I wanted to do, right? So I really imagine applying that same logic to bigger goals, right? You want to start a new business, you want to launch a new program, you want to go for another job. It's the same. You need to take that step. You know, there's a great Japanese proverb that says, fear is only as deep as the mind allows. So often, fear is less about external obstacles and more about stories that we tell ourselves. So if you shift your mindset, you'll find that some of the fear evaporates, or at least it becomes manageable. So if you want to see some of these fear-based strategies in action, come and join us on Sunday mornings at the 7 a.m. Club. Each 7 a.m. we practice guided meditation, breath work, journaling, goal setting, a little bit of manifestation, and some community check-ins. And by the end of each session, you'll feel calmer, more grounded, and a whole lot braver. So if you're ready to tackle your entrepreneurial, your corporate, or your personal challenges head on, join us. You can go to sundaymornings.club, or you can check out my YouTube channel. You can find us there. Fear might be invisible, but the influence can be monumental, right? If we let it. So the good news is that awareness is the first step to liberation. So by naming your fears, refuting their claims, and taking small, consistent actions, you can break fear's hold. So whether you're launching a startup, leading a corporate team, or just trying to become the best version of yourself, fear does not stand a chance against courageous, intentional living. So, key takeaways to remember, entrepreneurs: you want to embrace experimentation. It's better to fail forward than freeze in fear. Corporate leaders, I want you to foster a culture where healthy risk-taking is applauded and mistakes are lessons, not career-ending events. And personal growth, keep a watch on negative self-talk and anxiety loops, right? Pivot towards mindfulness and daily affirmation. So if you're looking for more, you can join us at Mastermind City for networking events, masterminds, and resources. Check out all our upcoming workshops. I can't wait to see you there. Again, I'm Faye Chappell. This has been your Sunday Spark. So let's stand up, face fear, and show it the door. Your next level awaits. Fear's got no seat at this table. So until next time, stay fearless. Well, you've just had your Sunday Spark. How's that for a power-packed start to the week? If you're ready for more tips, laughs, and let's get real moments, be sure to subscribe and share this podcast with all of your friends and your crew. Got questions, insights, or just want to say hey? Well, head over to my website, faithchapel.com, or any of the social media feeds, and I will be with you there. Until next time, keep that spark alive, and remember, your best life doesn't just happen, you have to create it.